Right, just a quick video for you today, and it's going to be one on showing you how to fix sticky left bumper or right bumper on Xbox controllers. Right, like me, you've maybe got loads and loads of controllers lying about your house, a little graveyard of old Xbox controllers sitting somewhere because they don't work. I think I've actually got probably about 20 controllers, to be honest, throughout the house. Myself and the kids have all got their own individual ones. And actually, I've got the Xbox Elite 2 controller and actually done this little thing on it to fix a sticky bumper on this, and it worked a treat, which is I'm absolutely delighted at because that costs a lot of money. But anyway, yeah, if you've got lots of controllers lying about, don't bin them, give this a try first and see how it goes. Let's get into it. So this is my son's Xbox he designed in Design Labs many years ago. Paid about £80 for it, I think. So if you go into your Xbox, go to the Xbox Accessories app, which you should see on the screen here, and then go down to the little test speaker thing. This puts it into the test mode. And basically you just start pressing the buttons and it shows that they're registering down the bottom. And you can see there the D-pad and so on. Start, options button, X, A, Y, B, you name it, RT, LT, everything's working fine. But if you notice here, if I can do this properly, when I press on the RB button, nothing registers. RT works fine, but RB just nothing at all. It's just tapping it. But if you do put a bit of pressure on it by pushing it down hard, it does register, but you don't want that. You want it to work just by simply tapping it for certain games. But yeah, it only seems to work when you put a bit of pressure in it. So possibly there could be some dirt in there, some pet fur. We've got lots of cats and the fur gets everywhere. It could be jamming it up, it could be anything, broken plastic or something in there, but we'll take it apart and have a look. So I quite like this controller, nice kind of camel finish on it with orange, as I say, my son decided to go with. We'll take the old battery pack, the Venom battery charging pack off the back. Then these little panels here at the side should just pry off. Now you can use prying tools if you want, but I've got quite strong nails, so I dig my nails in there and just pull those off. One on each side. And same again, just get your nails in there, or a pry tool, and just pull that off. Now at the back here you should see 4 screws right away, should be quite obvious. 3, 4, and then there's actually a 5th one in here behind this sticker. So I've got my little toolbox here, and if I can remember right from other ones I've took apart, it should be a Torx 6 little fitting we need here. Torx 6, where is it? Right, it's here. Just check if that's right, and it is indeed, it's a Torx 6 bit you need. And I'll just show you that in my little kit, and that's what that is. Now just get my screwdriver out on the other side. Great little toolkit, by the way. I've also done a video on this. Very cheap, and it's got everything you can need for electronics and stuff. So we'll just go about taking these 5 screws out. And as you can see as well, this little screwdriver is magnetic, so stops you from losing the screws. That's number 2. The 3rd one in here. It's difficult trying to see what I'm doing here because I'm literally got my head behind the camera. I'm trying to see around the camera to what I'm doing. So that's the 3rd one out. 4th one down here in the corner. Number 4 out, and number 5 just in the back of the sticker here, so I'm just going to have to pop a hole through the sticker to get to that. There we go. And numero 5. And as long as this is loose, it should allow the front faceplate to come off. Just like so. And that lets you see into the buttons and stuff. So you'll see up the top right here when I'm pressing the RB button, there's a little switch in here, a tiny little switch. These switches are kind of different arrangement from what they are in the Xbox Elite controllers, but I think they're ultimately the same. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a straw to blow out any dust that might be trapped in there. You might have the compressed air can that can work for that, or you can maybe you've got one of these little battery powered air dusters. I don't have any of them to hand, so I'm just going to use a straw and just give it a wee blow out to see if anything comes out of there, any dust or like I say, pet hair or whatever. But to be honest, it actually looks pretty clean in there. Nothing's coming out. There's no little broken bits or plastic or anything like that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol. I've got some little cotton buds here sitting to the side. And I'm just going to dip the cotton bud into the isopropyl alcohol, get it nice and soaked. And then I'm actually going to apply that to this little button here, this little trigger. And what I would suggest you do as well, you're soaking it, is to actually press away at the button just to make sure that you're working that alcohol fluid inside the switch. Don't worry, you're not going to do any damage with this being liquid. It'll very quickly evaporate, but might as well do the other side while I'm here as well. Just work away at the buttons just as you're applying the fluid. Just make sure it gets right inside that switch. And then if you just let that to dry, and then you can put it all back together again. Just press the buttons, make sure nothing's tight or nothing's dislodged, and then just basically start putting all the 5 screws back in again. Doesn't need to be done in any sequence, but I usually screw the back one in first, the one behind the sticker, and then do the other 4 last. So this is now like the 4th or 5th joypad I've done this on now, and this little trick seems to work with them all. I've been very lucky that it doesn't appear to be any of the actual trigger switches themselves are broken. It just seems to need a bit of a clean out. And I've also should point out, I've done this on another controller that had a bit of stick drift as well. Put the isopropyl alcohol in behind the thumb controller, if you want to call it that bit, the little thumb directional switch, and it also worked a treat. So as once as those 5 screws are in, just push these little side panels back in. It should just easily click back into place. Make sure there's no gaps, nothing's left loose, and same again on the other side. Again, just make sure all the triggers, buttons are all nice and loose, nothing's trapped. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some bog standard batteries in, because that old charging one I had, it's basically gub now, so just check that it fires up, and it does. All good. Now what we'll do is we'll go back to the test screen and see if this has worked. Same again, back into the accessories, Xbox accessories app, down to the little test speaker. Put it in test mode. Just check all the other buttons are all working. Nothing's changed since you've took it apart. LB and RB is working fine. I'm going to try and switch hands. And there you go, the RB button.
It's alive! Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
It's all good now, which is superb. Absolutely chuffed at that. Lightest of taps, and it's actually registering now, which is great. That's exactly what you want. RT button's working fine as well with the back, just to make sure. And then I'm just going to check the rest of them are all working here. Your A, X, Y, B. All the D-pad controls, thumbstick movements, options and pause buttons and so on. But look at that. A wee 5-minute job, just a little bit of fluid, and that's done the trick. And that was that. A simple 5-minute job. Cotton buds, air duster if you've got it, or a straw like I used, and I'll be a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and it's done a trick for me. Now I'm not saying this is going to work for everybody. There's probably going to be other things that's causing people's bumpers not to work. The switches might just be totally broken altogether, might be bits of plastic broken which is causing the bumpers not to work. But rather than bin your 70 or 80 pound controller, give this a try. Like I say, it takes 5 minutes, and if it works, you're in, okay? So I thought I'd just share it with you because it's working for me. I've actually saved a lot of my controllers, and I hope this helps you out as well, and I'll see you guys sometime soon. Bye.